Have you ever found yourself staring at a screen late at night, scrolling through an infinite feed of news, memes, and updates, feeling a strange, heavy hollow in your chest? It isn't exactly sadness, and it certainly isn't boredom. It is something deeper, quieter, and infinitely more unsettling. It is the feeling of being untethered. You have access to all the information in human history, yet you feel less equipped to navigate your life than your ancestors did 1,000 years ago. You are free to be anyone, go anywhere, and believe anything. Yet this freedom feels less like a liberation and more like a suffocating fog. This specific emotional and psychological gravity is what modern thinkers are calling the meaning crisis. It is not just a personal problem you are having. It is the defining atmosphere of our time. It is the background static of the modern world. To understand it, we have to look beyond the symptoms, the anxiety, the political polarization, the addiction to distraction, and look at the root cause. We have lost our shared map of reality. For most of human history, meaning wasn't something you had to go out and find or create for yourself. It was given to you. You were born into a world that was already enchanted. The stars weren't just balls of burning gas, they were gods or guides. The forest wasn't just a resource, it was the home of spirits. Your job, your family role, and your suffering all fit into a grand cosmic story. Whether that story was religious, tribal, or cultural, it provided a sturdy container for your life. It told you that you mattered, that your actions rippled out into eternity, and that you were part of a whole. Then came the necessary but destructive wrecking ball of scientific materialism and secular modernity. We learned how the universe works mechanically, which gave us antibiotics, the internet, and space travel. But in the process, we stripped the universe of its narrative. We discovered that the stars are indeed just burning gas, that we are evolved primates on a rock spinning in a cold, dark void. We traded comfort for truth. We killed the old myths because they weren't factually true, but we forgot that those myths were psychologically essential. They were the glue holding our internal worlds together. Now we are living in the aftermath. We are stranded in a universe that science tells us is indifferent to our existence. Yet our brains are hardwired to crave significance. This creates a massive dissonance. We are meaning-seeking creatures in a meaning-blind universe. This crisis manifests in what we might call the crisis of touch. I don't just mean physical touch, but the ability for our minds to touch reality. Think about how much of your day is spent processing representations of things rather than the things themselves. We look at pictures of food, read tweets about events, and watch videos of other people living. We are drowning in symbols, but starving for the reality they represent. We have become spectators in our own lives. This separation creates a profound sense of alienation. We feel like ghosts haunting a machine. We have so much data, but zero wisdom. We know exactly how to do things, but we have forgotten why we are doing them in the first place. To cope with this terrifying void, we try to fill the hole with what can be called pseudo-meaning. This is why we see such intense, almost religious devotion to things that shouldn't matter that much. Politics has become the new theology for many, where our side is the absolute good and their side is the absolute evil. We treat brands, celebrities, or dietary trends with the fervor of a cult. We try to squeeze spiritual nourishment out of material success or social media validation. But these are junk food for the soul. They give you a quick spike of dopamine or a fleeting sense of belonging, but they leave you feeling emptier than before, because they don't connect you to the deep structure of reality. They are fragile, and when they break, we crash. The meaning crisis is also a crisis of attention. Meaning is, at its core, a relationship between you and the world. It is what happens when you pay deep, loving attention to someone or someone. But our attention is being harvested. The modern economy is designed to fracture your focus, to keep you skimming the surface, jumping from one notification to the next. When you cannot hold your attention on anything, you cannot find it meaningful. A shallow life is a meaning life. We are losing the cognitive capacity to sit with a complex idea, to read a difficult book, or to truly listen to a friend without glancing at our phone. We are becoming tourists in our own existence, snapping photos, but never really absorbing the view. However, there is a hopeful angle to this. Acknowledging the meaning crisis is the first step toward waking up. The solution isn't to try and force ourselves back into the old myths of the past. We can't unlearn what we know about science and history. We cannot go back to the garden. Instead, we have to move forward. We have to learn how to cultivate meaning without dogmatic certainty. This involves moving from propositional knowing, knowing facts, to participatory knowing, knowing through doing and connecting. It means realizing that meaning isn't a treasure you find at the end of a map. It is a music you make by playing your instrument. We find it in flow states, that zone where the challenge matches our skill and we lose our self-consciousness. We find it in deep ecology, reconnecting with the natural world not as a resource, but as a living system we are part of. We find it in genuine dialogue, talking to people not to win an argument, but to think together and reach a truth neither of you could reach alone. The meaning crisis is the growing pain of humanity. We are leaving our childhood home where the rules were clear and the safety was guaranteed, and stepping into adulthood. It is scary out here. It is cold. But it is also the only place where we can become truly free. We have to build our own hearths now. We have to weave our own connections. We are being called to evolve our consciousness, to find a way to integrate the scientific facts of the universe with the spiritual hunger of the human heart. It is the hardest work we will ever do, but it is the only work worth doing. The static you feel, that anxiety, it's just the signal that you are ready to stop sleepwalking. You are ready to start living intentionally. If you've ever felt this specific kind of drift, or if you've found small ways to anchor yourself in this chaotic world, I really want to hear about it. Leave a comment below sharing your experience. Let's turn this comment section into a real community discussion rather than just a shouting match. If this video helped you put words to a feeling you couldn't describe, please hit the like button. It helps this message find other people who are feeling just as lost. And don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell. We are going to be diving much deeper into how to navigate this crisis in future videos, and you won't want to miss that journey.